love the story of the Exodus. I love what God did with the children of Israel when they were leaving Egypt, because the big picture of it is what God did to Egypt, how He delivered them, is the exact same way that He delivers you and me. Listen, literally, the children of Israel, God's people, they were in Egypt. In Hebrew, it's the word Mitzrayim, which means troubles, trials, and tribulations. And what they did is they cried out to God because they were in bondage and they were oppressed and they were heavy laden. They were in slavery, and they cry out to God, and God sends a messenger. And the messenger that shows up delivers the people with signs, wonders, and miracles, and breaks them from captivity from basically the most powerful kingdom of that known time. And He takes them through the Red Sea and takes them to the mountain to give them commandments for freedom. And then the rest of their journey, God is getting Egypt out of them. He's transforming them. He's washing them. He's cleaning them up. And He's bringing them into the promised land. That's exactly what the message of the gospel is. We were in slavery. We were in bondage. We were in hardship. And we cried out to God, Father God, I need help. And He sent us a messenger named Jesus. And that man came with signs, wonders, and miracles, and defeated the grave and gave us the opportunity to have salvation. He brought us to that holy mountain where we looked at God and said, yes, God, I believe in You. I need You. I've been struggling. My past isn't the greatest. I've had a rough journey. I recognize that I need something greater than me, because on my own, I've always fallen short. I've always run out of strength. I've always run out of endurance. And so we cried out to this living God through Jesus, and He saved us. And now He's transforming us. God is right there in the midst of them. And they're on this journey, and they get to the point in Numbers chapter 13, and God says, now go into the promised land and take what I've promised to give to you, what I promised to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they send spies over there. And it says when they're coming back that two of them have this cluster of grapes between them. God's provision is there. His promise is there. It is absolutely a land flowing with milk and honey. But they made a mistake, and they did what so many of us do. They said, it's a land flowing with milk and honey. Look at this grape. Look at the pomegranates. It is beautiful over there. But how many times in my own personal life have I saw and looked back at what God's did in my life, right? And so all that He's brought me through, it's what God saved me, has pulled me through. He's brought me from addiction, all kinds of things. But how many times when I'm running this race and I see and I look back to all that God's did in my past, when God's telling me to move forward sometimes, do we not sometimes say, yeah, God, but? And we have to realize that there is no but with God, except but God can do it in your life. If God's called you to it, He will get you through it. He will get you through the wilderness. That wilderness experience in your life is needed because it's changing you. It's transforming you. There's a reason that it says in James, count it all joy when you go through various trials and tribulations. That's not an easy verse for us to look at. God, you want me to count it all joy. You want me to get excited. You want me to have that joyful heart in the middle of the struggle, in the middle of my desperation, in the middle of my weakness. You're telling me that I should have joy, and God says yes, because it's through that your roots are going deep. It's through that you're trusting me. It's through that you're relying on me. If you pursue Jesus with everything in your heart, if you run at Him and you run at the roar of the enemy, you need to understand one thing. You plus God will always be the majority. You plus God will always be the majority.